All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about a pretty major strategic fix for anyone running VMware Cloud Foundation. We're going to break down why your VCF setup might be falling short, and more importantly, how a shift to GitOps could be the one thing that unlocks its true power as a real cloud platform.
This quote right here, it really hits the nail on the head. It's a direct challenge to how things are usually done. A lot of organizations have poured a ton of resources into VCF, but are they really getting a platform? Or did they just buy a super expensive manually managed cluster? That's the question we're digging into.
And that really leads to two big questions, doesn't it? First, what's the actual functional difference between just having a cluster and having a true platform? And maybe even more important for the future, why is getting this right absolutely essential if you're serious about building an infrastructure that can handle AI workloads? The answers here could totally redefine how you see your private cloud.
Okay, so first things first. Let's really pin down the core misunderstanding that so many people fall into when they first set up their VCF environment.
And there it is. This is the fundamental mistake. Instead of building this dynamic, self-service platform that feels and acts like a public cloud, most teams are still managing VCF the old way, like a traditional virtual cluster. It's static, every little request needs someone to go in and manually do something, and it just can't scale operationally. This is the bottleneck that's holding everything back.
And to really feel the impact of this, you have to compare the old way with the new. Let's look at how work actually gets done in these two totally different worlds. So on one side, you've got the classic ticket-driven model. A developer needs something, they file a ticket. That ticket just sits in a queue waiting. Eventually, someone gets to it, probably clicks through a bunch of wizard screens and deploys it. It's painfully slow, it's wide open to human error, and good luck trying to audit anything. But then, you've got pipeline-driven governance. Here, your infrastructure is just code. A change gets submitted, it's automatically checked and validated, it gets approved, and then it's deployed through a consistent, repeatable pipeline. It's fast, it's perfectly consistent every single time, and you have a beautiful audit trail right in your Git history. The difference is just night and day.
So how do we make that leap from slow-moving tickets to automated pipelines? Well, the answer is to fully embrace a GitOps workflow. Let's break down what that really means for VCF. At its core, GitOps is a pretty simple idea. It's an operating model where Git, your source control system, becomes the one and only source of truth. Everything, and I mean everything, that defines your infrastructure lives and is versioned in Git. If you want to change something, you don't log into a GUI. Nope. You update the code in Git, and an automated process takes over to make the real world match what's in your repository.
So what are we talking about here? What exactly goes into Git? Well, it boils down to three key things. First, your VCF blueprints, written in YAML, that define all your VMs and networking. Then, you've got your VRO workflows, which hold all of your complex automation logic. And finally, your Ansible playbooks for all that configuration management. Getting these three artifacts into a Git repository. That's step one, and it's the most important one.
Okay, and this is a big one, a really important security callout. While you're putting all the declarative code, the what and the how, into Git, you can absolutely never ever store sensitive stuff like passwords, API keys, or any other secrets in there. That stuff belongs in a secure vault, something provided by your CI/CD platform like GitHub Actions or GitLab CI. The pipeline pulls those secrets in at runtime, keeping your repository clean and secure. So let's just walk through the flow. Imagine an engineer needs to make a change. They submit that change as a pull request in Git. That action immediately kicks off an automated validation pipeline. It checks the code for errors, runs security scans, you name it. Once it passes, it moves to an approval stage where a team lead can review the change. Finally, once they approve and merge that request, boom! The deployment pipeline fires off and pushes the change into VCF. It's clean, it's auditable, and it's all automated. Now to build all this, you're going to need a few key tools in your tool belt. You'll need a source control system. Think GitHub or GitLab. You'll need a CI/CD platform to actually run all the automation, like GitHub Actions or Jenkins. And of course, you need to be able to talk to your environment, so you'll be using the VCF and VRO REST APIs. Those three pieces are the backbone of this whole model. But look, this whole shift is about so much more than just making IT more efficient. When you adopt a GitOps model, you're fundamentally building a platform that is ready for the future of computing. And here's the real payoff. AI and machine learning workloads are incredibly complex. They need very specific, consistent, and repeatable infrastructure. A manual, ticket-based system is never, ever going to keep up with that demand.
By going all in on a GitOps model, you build the discipline and the automation you need to reliably deploy and manage the sophisticated environments that these AI applications require. This approach gives you 3 huge wins. First, you get complete version control of your entire infrastructure. Second, you get perfectly consistent deployments every time, whether it's for dev, testing, or production. And third, all your security and approval checks are baked right into the workflow from the start, not bolted on at the end. This is what a mature platform really looks like.
Now, we've talked a lot about the technology, but honestly, that's only half the story. The biggest challenge you'll face is often not in the code, but in the company culture. And this is the human hurdle. This is the tough part. You have to shift your entire team's way of thinking, away from filing tickets and waiting, and towards collaborating on code. That means people need to develop new skills in automation and CI/CD tools. And you have to totally rethink governance. Who gets to approve a pull request? What tests have to pass before something can be deployed? These are people and process problems, and you have to solve them for the technology to actually work. So we end up right back where we started, with this one critical question. I want you to take a really hard look at your VCF environment and how you operate it. Are you just managing a collection of hosts and VMs, or are you truly building a dynamic, automated platform that can power your business and its most demanding applications for years to come? The choice really is yours.